Gregory Spence, a name etched in the annals of injustice, a life stolen by a system designed to uphold justice, yet often perpetrates its violation. In 2005, Gregory's life took a sharp turn into a nightmare. He was arrested, charged, and convicted of a crime he didn't commit. 20 years of his life were ripped away, spent within the cold, unforgiving walls of prison. This is not just a story of one man's wrongful conviction. It is a chilling testament to a flawed justice system where the pursuit of truth often takes a backseat to expediency and prejudice. Gregory's story is a harsh reminder. It exposes the cracks in the very foundation of the justice system. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality of systemic biases and the devastating impact they have on countless innocent lives. His fight for freedom is not his alone. It's a fight against the system that has failed him and countless others. It's a fight for justice, for accountability, and for a future where every life is valued, every voice is heard, and every wrong is righted. The crux of Gregory's wrongful conviction lay in a single yet fatal flawed misidentification. The victim, traumatized and under immense pressure, pointed to Gregory as the perpetrator, but something wasn't right. The description didn't match. The evidence was flimsy at best, yet the prosecution, spearheaded by Ms. Rosen, saw an opportunity. Ms. Rosen, driven by ambition rather than a pursuit of justice, saw Gregory as just another case, another win for her record. She clung to the shaky eyewitness testimony, dismissing any evidence that contradicted her narrative. She manipulated the facts, ignored crucial discrepancies, and painted Gregory as a monster in the eyes of the jury. The prosecution's role is to seek justice, not convictions. Ms. Rosen, however, chose the latter, turning a blind eye to the truth and sacrificing an innocent man at the altar of her ambition. Justice is supposed to be blind, impartial, and unwavering, but in Gregory's case, the scales of justice were tipped, and Judge Stanley J. Sachs, the supposed dispenser of fairness, seemed to turn a blind eye to the glaring inconsistencies. He presided over the trial with a detached air, seemingly disinterested in the truth. Judge Sachs allowed inadmissible evidence, dismissed valid objections from the defense, and created a hostile environment where Gregory's voice was stifled. His courtroom, meant to be a sanctuary of justice, became a stage for a show trial where the verdict seemed predetermined. Judge Sachs' conduct reflected a larger issue within the judicial system, the immense power vested in individuals who can, consciously or unconsciously, allow their biases to influence their decisions. Section 4, the absent advocate, public defender Carr, and the weight of negligence. The right to a fair trial is enshrined in our Constitution. Central to this right is the role of the defense attorney, a champion for the accused, fighting tirelessly to protect their rights. But for Gregory, this right was tragically eroded. His court-appointed attorney, Mr. Carr, was a shadow of the advocate he was supposed to be. Overburdened, underpaid, and seemingly disillusioned, Mr. Carr failed to conduct a thorough investigation, challenge the prosecution's narrative, or present a compelling defense for his client. He treated Gregory's case with a disheartening indifference, as if the truth didn't matter. Whether due to systemic flaws or personal shortcomings, Mr. Carr's negligence had devastating consequences, leaving Gregory vulnerable and ultimately failed by the very system that promised to protect him. Section 5, under the guise of law, coercion, and a fabricated confession. The prosecution's case, built on shaky grounds, needed a final damning piece, a confession. Enter Assistant State's Attorney Jeremy Unruh, whose tactics epitomized the dark side of law enforcement. Unruh, hungry for conviction, resorted to coercion and manipulation. He preyed on Gregory's vulnerability, his lack of resources, and his desperation to escape the pressure cooker of interrogation. Hours turned into days, with Unruh threatening Gregory during interrogation that the pen he was holding would end his life, also punching Gregory with physical harm. Out of fear for his life, Gregory signed a pre-written confession with the pen Unruh was holding. He signed a confession, a document that would seal his fate, not because it held the truth, but because it was extracted through psychological manipulation and physical harm, a blatant disregard for his rights,